Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about a Gerber industrial folding knife, the E.A.B. Lite clip folding utility knife. The little X-Lo style logo there, industrial symbol. Package information here. You've seen this kind of thing in the past. This is the second generation of this knife, and here you go. This is the folded position, obviously, and it is a remarkably attractive utility knife. I mean, very elegant looking, and it has a nice heft to it. It's definitely not a lightweight tool at all. It has a pocket clip, which is not removable, which could be a downside because some people may not want to use a pocket clip. And I have seen people talk about using this as a money clip, and as such, I think you could. There's your Gerber logo. You could use it, but you're not going to get a whole lot in there. I use a money clip, and my money clip's fairly large, and it's a little worn out because I've been using it since 1979. But I tried it, and you get maybe 4 or 5 bills in there folded, and not many more. Now, I don't know about you, but I carry more than 5 bills at a time. Normally, they're $5 bills and $1 bills, but I still carry more than 4 or 5 at a time. But if you only carry a few bills, and you're looking for a knife that fits into your pocket, this could be it. And this is small enough you could make this a true pocket knife. Now, there isn't a great deal of retention in that sense, but it fits in firmly, and this is not going to pop out on its own. Now, it's easiest to do with the two-handed, but if you were get in there like this, you can very carefully open this with one hand. It's not designed that way. So there you have it. Nice little cutouts, a little visual appeal, maybe lighten it up just a smidge, and they go all the way through. And here we have the pivot, which is a two-sided, which again you could use with a watchmaker's style wrench, or maybe it's made a set of calipers to loosen. I'm not a big fan of those. I prefer giving a more common fastener to your users so that they can make adjustments if they want. And again, it's the same style on this side. The only other fastener here is a standard screwdriver screw, domed style screw, which holds the blade in place. I consider that to be a downside. It's because that means you need another tool to change your blade. I understand why they did it though, because by doing this, they kept it very slim. Having a mechanism here that would allow the user to change it without tools would have made the device larger. So I understand why they did it, though it is a little disappointing. You need another tool to remove your blade. Now, I said this is a second generation. Now, if you look at this, you see how this metal comes up onto the blade itself. It comes up pretty much even with the primary bevel of the standard utility knife. Well, the first generation of this, that little wall you're looking at didn't come up as far. In fact, it came up less than half that. And the problem is, people were holding it like this, making cuts, and when they would put torque on it, the blade could actually pop out and was lacerating their hands. So when you're buying one of these, make sure you get the second generation that comes up onto the blade and holds it, really seats it in there so it's not going to turn. Also, don't torque utility knife. That should be good advice for everybody. However, so here you go. This fits in for a standard draw cup. It fits well into your hand. Even though it's not a full 4-finger grip, it is very secure. You've got this little ramp right here. Your finger comes in like this. It is very secure. This is not going anywhere, and I feel very confident using it. You can also you can use it like this, again, very comfortably. You could use it in a scalpel style, cut like that. You could even pull back here if you needed to make a little like this, if you need to reach out a little bit, or reach out like this and go a little bit further than your standard reach is, say a large box. It needs to be cut up, the tape needs to be cut. You could do that quite safely. I would just make sure that you're not going to be pushing on the liner lock, which is a pretty nice lockup. There's no wobbling this way. There's ever so slight amount of wobbling. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can. Yeah, I can just barely feel it. Overall, it's very solid lockup. Again, I'm not concerned with this thing closing on my hand in the least. You can close it one-handed, though it's not ideal. There you go. Again, this is really designed for a two-handed use. I've used a lot of these knives in my life, so I'm kind of used to using these things, open and closing things with one hand. Now, downside. This is not centered. You see that this side is below that surface, and this side is above that surface. In fact, if I do this, I push hard enough, I can get to go back in line. See that? So that is not in line. So that is a quality issue. I feel that this particular model shouldn't have made itself out of the shop, out of the factory. It should have been rejected. I have not played with the pivot at all. I'm not going to play with the pivot. I bought this strictly to review it and see if I thought it was worth people's time to purchase. And overall, I think as a folding utility knife, this is very elegant looking. It is comfortable. I feel it's safe. As far as use is concerned, it does have that defect of not lining up perfectly, but that may not be something that is going to bother your average user. You could use it as a money clip if you want. I think it's a little on the heavy side for a money clip, and I don't think it holds enough bills, but other people have requirements that are different than mine, so maybe they will. I think you can make this as a decent pocket knife to drop into your pocket and go, and you're not going to have to worry about having a sharp knife, because it uses a utility knife, which is you turn it around, throw it away, get a new one. Make sure you dispose of your utility knife blades safely. Put them one of my recommendations is to wrap them firmly in tape before you dispose of them, because you don't want to having them cut open a bag and some poor garbage guy goes to move a bag and stabs himself in the hand. That's not cool. So make sure you dispose of your utility knives safely. But overall, I think it's pretty good design. Just make sure you've got the second generation and you're not using the first generation, because that poses a danger. There is, I know there's at least one video on YouTube about that, so you can look that up if you want. But overall, I think it's a good, solid design. I think it's worth the money. I paid $15 for it at a bash shop, which sells camping and stuff. You can pay less for it online, but I would have had to get shipping, so I figured I'd break even. It was right in front of me, so I bought it. So there you go. Give it a look. If you like Gerber products and you're looking for a folding knife that has a little more, folding utility knife that has a little more style to it than a lot do, this may be something that would fit your needs.